From 2008 to 2014, we had it was called the CalGrip program, which is gang resistance kind of education program. It's an intervention program based out of the schools. Because we're learning that gang life and gang activity, the indoctrination that starts at a very young age. So our school resource officer program, for instance, we have 8 school resource officers in the city, which is a very large program, and they're assigned to every school in the city. They're very hands-on, and they're probably our best ambassadors for this program. They're hands-on with the kids. They work with school staff to identify children who may be susceptible to gangs or in the future. We're working with them in our Youth and Family Services Bureau, which is a nationally recognized program here in Hayward. Working with them with case management and counseling services at all the schools. We're able to coordinate efforts and collaborate between law enforcement and counseling in the schools to identify children who are going to be at risk for this kind of stuff. Based on what we learned from that program, we still do that stuff. Although it's not funded anymore, we're working to get that funding back to make it more comprehensive. We always have a strategy in place for dealing with gang issues and gang, and children who are at risk to go into the gang culture. So definitely something we're aware of. And like I said, I think our counseling services achieve that goal of intervention, not just for the kids, but for the family members too. We work with our Hayward Unified School District, and we have a great collaboration with them. But the big tool with that and the big start of intervention with that is through our school resource officer program. I worked in the program for a couple of years, and so I know how important it is. You can make a huge difference with children at a certain age. And if you can identify those kids and give them alternatives and discuss with them diversion programs and stuff if they get caught up in crimes related to that kind of stuff, and deal with it then and there, it makes it easier for that child to grow up and be successful. I can tell you that from my experience, personal experience working with certain children who I've made after I left the program, I'd run into kids at 18, 19 years old, hey, Officer Cantrell, hey, you remember me? I say, yeah, I remember you, and they're doing something positive, they're working, they're doing part of the community. And then, I've run into some kids who are involved in gangs, but because of that relationship we established when I was working with them when they were younger, there's that relationship and respect, and when we deal with them on the street, it's a little easier, and we can get information, and you can try that intervention again. You can explain to them, and we give those tools to all of our officers. I mean, some are way better at it than others, but we encourage it, and just by virtue of what a gang is, there's always going to be violence associated to it. Have we made strides in reducing gang violence? Yeah, I think we have. I think it's not, you don't see it like you used to. But I think that has a lot to do with the programs and things that we've put forth. I mean, I can't give you numbers on it per se, but I think I can see the impact on it. 15 years ago as to where we are today, I think we've made some serious strides.